Welcome to Inside of the Mind of Mohawk. So, today we're going to go through an adventure of these three little crazy insects: a caterpillar, a fly, and a centipede. So, the fly ends up coming out of his little cocoon thing, floating off. Ends up coming out of his little weird little egg thing that was whatever, the maggots, you know what I mean? And then ends up chilling on this leaf, and next thing you know, this caterpillar comes out, and it comes out of his cocoon as well. And it's all in the same leaf. So, boop, this little chimichanga pops out of nowhere. The next thing you know, it's breaking out of its cocoon. This centipede that was coming out from this hole in the ground ends up starting to crawl up this plant that these other two ended up becoming born at, right? So these little things end up meeting in the middle of the stem, and inside they look at each other. There's the first time they ever see anything else, and they're just like, "Oh my god, like what are you?" And then the fly is just buzzing around, doing this thing, and it looks at them and it's like, "Well, what are these guys?" So it goes and investigates, and the caterpillar is like still trying to break out of its little cocoon. It's already almost out, but it's still like fighting, forcing its way out. The centipede's on its way up there, like, "Whoa, what's going on? I don't know what this is, but it looks good." So next thing you know, it reaches the cocoon and the fly comes, and the centipede don't know what's going on. It's just like, what is this little thing trying to break out? And the caterpillar was actually like this beautiful, like purple with like a teal kind of look to it, and it had like this super cool blue, like a super cool blue emerald, I would say, or not like emerald, but like a gemerald, like a gem. You know what I mean, like a gem. So then it's got this beautiful colors, and the centipede is just like completely black. And I mean like all the way black, all the way around, thousands of legs and all the good stuff. The fly is actually a normal looking fly. And you know what I mean? Boom, this thing comes in, and the centipede actually tries to attack this caterpillar, right? So next thing you know, the fly comes through, and whack out there. Judah chops it. I don't know how this instincts ended up popping out of this fly, and it just decided to take care and help this caterpillar, right? So next thing you know, it goes and the Judah chops this freaking centipede that was about to attack the caterpillar. Boom, they're still going down on this plant where they were just born at and all that stuff. And I would say it's one of those like sunflower kind of stalks that come up and little baby leaves that come out here and there, you know what I mean? And the caterpillar doesn't know what's going on. It's still trying to break its way out, And the fly is just like doing his maneuvers, doing like a freaking fighter jet, you know what I mean? Just going through there. Whack it there. Hits it when the centipede tries to come and attack the caterpillar again. And then it pulls its fangs out. Throws his little hands, thousands of little hands out. And the fly is like, oh, it's going down. He doesn't know how it's doing it, but it's like instinctively hardwired to protect this caterpillar. So next thing you know, it's going through, whack it there. And it's hitting it. The centipede's like snapping at it, snapping its freaking fangs at this fly that's trying to attack it. And while all this is going down, this caterpillar's still trying to break out its little cocoon. It's got this one little fat leg sticking out the little thing, and it's like trying to wiggle its way, and it's just like doing like those little upside down sit-ups, you know what I mean? And the fly's still maneuvering through those crazy like stuff, and next thing you know, raindrops start coming out of nowhere, the size of buses, bro. Boom, boom, it's coming down. This fly's like, oh my god! Not only is it ducking and dodging all these raindrops, it's going and attacking the centipede, because the centipede almost got to the caterpillar again. So next thing you know, the centipede ends up turning into this whole new crazy color. Inside of it, from the inside where it was all black, it ended up getting red, and it just like merged through the rest of the centipede, and its whole legs ended up extending out, and then it transformed into this crazier looking, huger centipede, and each leg ended up separating and making more legs, and it ended up like mutating into this crazy looking, like even more million leg like centipede that had bigger fangs, and it was black and red, and it was creeping. And next thing you know, it got a little bit bigger, so it had a little more room to move around, and this fly still going around, ducking and dodging. And next thing you know, the caterpillar finally breaks out. And it's been watching this whole thing go down. And the fly is still like starting to get tired, and the next thing you know, the centipede goes and then it tries to attack it one more time, and it snatches the fly by its leg, by one of its other little arms that end up multiplying. And the caterpillar seeing all this go down. And next thing you know, the caterpillar comes out, and then it opens up its chest, and it has one of the most beautiful, like mesmerizing, hypnotizing, like designs on the bottom of its belly. And the next thing you know, the centipede just looks over and just looks right at it, and it just comes into a complete daze. Like, it was like completely hypnotized. Didn't know what to do, and it had the fly by the hand, and it was like ready to smoke it. And like just completely distracted. Nothing else in the world mattered besides that design that was on that caterpillar's stomach. And the centipede was just holding it, and the fly's like trying to get out of its grip. The centipede wasn't letting go. It had it by the grip. It wasn't going nowhere. The caterpillar starts running up on it, like doing this weird little flexing, running up on him. And the next thing you know, its arms like, boom, just these huge arms just like come out the whole side of it, dude, and just like snatch this freaking centipede by its freaking throat. And then it just like rips its freaking head off, dude, and just like another arm and like a couple more arms come out from on the bottom of that. And it just like rips into the stomach of the centipede and just like turns and just like rips out all of its intestines, dude. And like the fly is like, oh my God, you saved my life. And the next thing you know, caterpillar's like, don't worry, bro. You don't even know who I am, do you? You don't remember all those other good times that we used to have and this and this and that? And like, dude, come to find out, the caterpillar and the fly were actually friends as maggots. And then for some reason, that caterpillar was like, instead of turning into a beautiful butterfly, it ended up becoming this crazy looking, freaking colorful, mesmerizing, crazy looking death machine, like insect, dude. Like, it was wild. But it ended up becoming the protector of that fly. So then they ended up starting this new journey once they got off of that sunflower plant. And they ended up going off onto the jungle that they were living in and went on a whole bunch of other adventures that they never knew could even exist. And that is the end of Inside the Mind of Mohawk.